sign the sheet, would you please sign it, please? Oh, and they'll pass it around.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you're right, they'll pass it to you. A notice of intent by Andrew Dryer.
Well, first I'd like
Yeah, let's
to,
do the minutes.
I will make a motion that we accept the minutes from September 12.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we'll hear the Andrew Dryer thing.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. I'm Andrew Dyer,
Yep.
2673 Park Avenue. We were waiting for approval from the Board of Health, which I have here, an approved plan. I got a couple copies of
Yeah,
these same.
slide over. I don't think the, I don't think he's got,
10-9.
he's usually early.
10-9.
Yeah, I approved it yesterday. This is the same thing.
8-9. 8-9, revised 9-12, revised 9-24, revised 10. Okay.
The last one we had was 8-9, so there's been 2 revisions since then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the approved one, and that's a copy of the approved one.
Just what did the revisions entail? What were,
We changed it from, we use infiltrators, we had plastic infiltrators in there, and the issue was that they thought the Board of Health agent thought it was in the floodway, and it's not, it's in the floodplain, which doesn't require the septic tank to be up above
not
the
the
ground.
floodplain, of course it's in the floodplain.
No,
It's
he
in
said
the
that.
floodplain, it's not in the floodway.
Floodway.
The
Oh, okay.
floodway is
All right,
is the
yeah,
river,
makes
it's
a
not in the
difference.
river, you know, it's not, and it's not in the velocity zone.
Yep.
Okay, that was the issue, that's what took place.
The plan itself that we're dealing with hasn't changed a bit.
No, it's the same plan. Same plan as the septic, the only thing we changed was the septic. We moved it, because before we were gonna keep the old septic, and then we decided to get rid of the old septic and put a brand new septic in. Okay, so we used diffusers instead of infiltrators, plastic infiltrators. So these are concrete diffusers with stone all the way around.
But the house and all the.
All the houses exactly the same, nothing, none of that's changed. Okay, none of this has changed, we're still closing off the boat ramp and whatnot, so. And nothing else has changed. I have the original, the other plan that we had.
Okay. You said diffusers versus what?
They were these are the concrete diffusers, it reverses the infiltrators, plastic infiltrators.
Could you explain that?
The plastic infiltrators are just plastic round and they're stone and stuff like that, but they're not, because he was concerned about being under the driveway. So we decided to go with the concrete, because we could only use the bottom area of the whole entire septic system anyways, we can't use the sides. So it was the same thing, so we were able to fit concrete,
Okay.
so you can drive over it, there was no issue.
Okay.
You still have the legal infiltration that you needed for the septic.
Okay, and this has been approved by the
By the
Board of
Board of
Health?
Health,
Okay.
yes, that's
On-
the signature
On,
there. 10-9,
okay.
yep.
So I don't have any more questions. We've dealt with this for 3 months.
Kelly?
Yes. Well, the only changes were the septic, when the septic is approved. I don't have any problem with the project.
Make a motion, Joe.
Well, I'll see if there's anybody in the auditorium that wants to talk.
Plenty of that.
Is there anybody here that,
Any comments on this particular project?
This has been going on for, 3-4 months now. It's a house along the river,
Park Avenue?
and it's gonna be reconstructed and a new septic system design. Okay, I move that we accept the plan as designed and issue an order of conditions.
I'll second that. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. No hearing, notice of intent by Dim Valtour, TJA Solar.
Good evening, my name is Christopher King with Atlantic Design Engineers on behalf of TJA Solar. As you know, we have not submitted revised information. Laura Kraus from Nova Armstrong. I spoke with her this morning just to give her an update. Last week, we appeared before the planning board, and it was determined that we do need to perform test pits in the areas of the detention basins. So in the effort to limit the revisions coming into you folks, the test pits are gonna be performed hopefully within the next couple of weeks. And the drainage finalized and all of the comments, outstanding issues for Nova Armstrong that Laura had identified will be resubmitted to you folks, hopefully as a final set addressing all of the outstanding issues. The planning board last week had asked that we, as part of the planning process, do a site visit. And they had requested that I come before you guys and see, they wanted someone, a designee maybe perhaps, on behalf of the Conservation Commission to attend. And so I told them, they knew that I was here this week, and so I told them that I would bring that before you guys and see if Charlie or if anyone wanted to go.
What is the date on that?
Well, that's my intent this evening. I would have just normally sent in a continuance, but I want to make sure this is done in an expedient manner. So if you tell me who the designee is, we don't have a date selected yet. I know based on the planning board's availability, it's going to be a weekday. So depending on, I think a couple of the members seemed, it seemed like they would be extremely appreciative to have your input during the site visit. And so I wanted to see, again, what your availability was to see if I could get all of the parties interested and linked up.
Would you have the corrections, the plan, the revised plan by that time?
Most of them, I would at least be able to submit a letter back to Laura addressing most of the issues. For instance, just last week, Goddard Consultants went and rehung some of the flags that were noted to be down as part of Nova Armstrong's review. The weather kind of held us back a little bit. Nova Armstrong, it's on the understanding that this week Laura is going to go back out, take a look at the flags that were rehung, make sure they look correct. In the meantime, I'm going to send our survey crew out to relocate those and then also conventionally tie into some of the flags that potentially would impact the project to ascertain their accuracy or confirm their accuracy. And so understanding all that is, I'm gonna get it revised and back to you folks prior to the next hearing. I don't, depending on the date of the site walk, I'm not sure that there's enough time to incorporate everything due to the fact that the test pits will be performed, and depending on those results, it may or may not impact the drainage design that is
The
currently
next
before you.
hearing is 11/14.
So, I mean, I would, I guess, two things. I would request that we be continued to the 11/14 hearing. At the same time, I'm wondering, again, understanding their open meeting regulations that we need to adhere to, would the Conservation Commission feel comfortable sending a representative to the planning board site walk, which is going to be advertised? That's basically our next public hearing with the planning board, is the date of the site walk.
One of us would be willing to go, I'm sure.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's not going, there's nothing official we can do there except,
I understand it, I found it as, it's not a common request that I get, and so, again, they knew that I was coming before you folks this evening. Understanding we're a little delayed due to having to do the test pits, get the results, and then potentially modify the design. They at least wanted me to ask if you would be willing to attend the planning board site walk.
I would be willing to attend. I don't know if anyone else is,
Well, it depends
We'll
upon what
work
it
it out
is.
between us, we'll
Okay.
find out who's
And again,
available and who can go.
Exactly. There were some talks with, Peter had brought it up, Williams with GZA, that they didn't want to exceed a certain number, again, because of the open meeting laws and whatnot. So if there was a designee that wanted to go and
Okay, just send out the date and time, and then we can decide.
who will attend.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, it will be a weekday. Is there any, I don't think there's a preference at that point, so,
Enough of us retired, so we can find someone who'll let you go.
okay.
so you're looking for a continuance until,
The 14th, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think that would be, give us
Okay.
hopefully plenty of time to get all this stuff done.
Okay. Motion so made to continue to the 14th.
yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're all set. John Duvalli,
They've asked for a continuance
on all of us,
on both,
Motion to continue to 11/14?
Second?
all in favor?
Aye. And that's for both of them, right?
Any two motions?
No.
No, I think one's sufficient.
Power has asked for a continuance as well,
Okay, this, wait a minute,
with next hearing.
oh, this is, wait a minute, here, we get here under
that's
all
all.
business, we just still got, you have Anton Roddick's enforcement.
Well, we're working with the signs up here.
Oh, we just finished that. You're going to, you're heading down
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Okay.
You looking at minutes there, or are you looking at?
No. Minutes is already,
What do you guys got going over there?
I guess so. I guess so, there was the same thing, okay. Okay. Working from the wrong sheet.
Much better.
There we go. Okay, motion to continue New England Power to the 14th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Michael Wheeler, didn't we just do him? Yeah. Mr. Miranda?
I think you skipped one.
You
Isn't
skipped one,
Wheeler
too.
the next,
Huh?
You skip one.
Uh,
Michael Wheeler.
We just did him.
No, that was Andrew Dyer.
Wheeler?
Yes, we all.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Park
sorry.
Avenue.
I just thought Park
No,
Avenue,
no.
Park Avenue was Park Avenue. Could only be one hearing from Park Avenue.
James Hall, Mount Hope Engineering, representing Mike Wheeler.
What was
Okay,
that?
you have, I see you have the green cards, you have the receipt for the Gazette.
We have the receipt.
Charlie gets them.
Charlie wants all this. We also have the notification to Natural Heritage, so.
Okay.
Should be there. We're proposing a dock. It's approximately 150 feet long to the gangway.
150 feet long?
It's 150 feet long. There's two parameters that we need out in the water. One is we need 5 foot of clearance under the dock for people traversing the shore, for shellfish or whatever, that's
Right.
under chapter 91. And we need 2.5 feet of water at moon low. So we did the soundings all the way out, you guys are familiar with the rock out there.
Yes.
We did all the soundings, obviously, so, you know, the dock length is always relative to the 2.5 feet of water at moon low. They don't want any boats sitting on the bottom. So we're about 250 feet from the channel. So the floaters are here, and the channel's 250 away, so it's quite a distance away.
And you still want to put the dock in? Okay.
Typically, we try to keep it, you're limited to 600 square feet, so what happens is, most people will go wider if the dock's shorter, and then as we start reaching out longer because of the depth of water, that's what drives the bus on where we end up out here. No one's gonna put a long dock in if they don't need to, it doesn't make any sense. So, as we do soundings in the mud flats out there, we figure out where 2.5 feet of water
You
is.
did all your homework, you did everything with DEP and the river people?
No, we have to come to you guys first.
Really?
It's the first stop, and then the second stop's Army Corps for the
Yeah.
dock and the DEP. And we got notification to Natural Heritage, but we got an email back, they have no issues. You guys will be getting that,
Yeah.
I'm sure, once that's through.
What kind of pilings are going in?
There would be the typical 12-inch pilings,
Of what?
Most
Made
of-
out of?
southern yellow pine.
Okay.
And are they treated
They are treated
with?
They have-
with They come out of Quonset, and I'm not gonna tell you, I know exactly what the treatment is. There's a few different types. You can actually do fiberglass, you can do steel, or you can do the wood treated, keeps on the yellow pine. It is impregnated in there, so, the DEP has not, they did have some pushback with it before, but they recently have not, because, the Pearson fiberglass pilings are probably twice the money, so it makes a dock almost unaffordable. Most docks are running between $40,000 to $80,000.
Now, how high is this dock off the high water? From the water?
High water would be about 6 feet. So bottom of dock, moon high tide,
Yeah.
6 feet. So, and then at low tide, when you're closer to shore, obviously you get less head space, but at between high and low, we have to make sure we have 5 feet of head clearance from dock to shore.
No, okay, but what I'm saying, okay, so this, the dock going out here, this is going to be, you said, 6 feet above the high water mark?
Correct. Roughly 6
Okay,
feet.
and that's all stabilized with the, into the pilings?
Correct. Pilings, cross bracing, decking. We try to keep it as high as we can until we get out, because of ice pack. You don't want everything too low. You get a nasty winter and you're gonna get ice pack, and you're gonna end up pulling the thing out because you're just too close, your decking's too close to moon tide, say.
Now,
One of my questions.
you said.
The gangway takes the elevation out, obviously. The aluminum
Yeah.
gangway to get to the floaters is where you're gonna make up the.
You said NHESP approved?
No,
No, no.
no, they gave us an email coming back, we sent it to them, we called them. They haven't disclosed what their species is,
Okay.
but she said no, she said in an email to us, because I can forward it to Charlie, that there's no, she sees no issue, that was her response.
So, until we get an official
Absolutely,
communication from them, we can't close the hearing.
exactly, and I need the order of conditions to proceed to Army Corps and to the DEP for
We
chapter
do
91
that
license.
anyway. Every time we make one out, we send a copy to DEP.
Right. So I can't submit chapter 91 license, not the NOI. I can't get into the license category or go to the Army Corps without you guys saying, you know, you're
Okay.
okay.
Now your dock, you said you got it down as a floater. So that would be taken in for the winter?
Most do, or jack up, they'll just jack them up, or they'll take them out and pull them in. If they don't, up there in that portion of the river, I think it'd be sort of crazy. I think they'd end up losing the floaters. The floaters are limited to, this is limited to 600 square feet, and this is limited to 200 square feet. Okay, so we got floaters that are 160 square feet, and we have a dock roughly, say, in the 450 to 500 square foot range, I'm gonna guess. This is the 150 mark from
All I can see.
here.
Okay, so these 4 pilings will be stationary, and then what they could do is jack up the floater and then make it, stabilize it at a,
You know, gangway and the floater does this, and it's
Yeah.
leveled out for the winter,
yeah,
and then come back next year. Well, that's what most guys have been doing. So to take them out is difficult, because they got obviously the U-rings around the
Yeah.
piles, and you have to take it all apart. The other thing DEP requires is float stops. So in other words, if we had a historic moon low, once every multiple years, as the floaters drop, they hit stops. They can't float, this thing can never sit on the bottom, because we have to stop it from going down as it slides down those piles.
okay.
And you don't want your boat on the bottom either.
No, you wouldn't want your boat, but an October historical moon low, and that's not what we would use the annual moon low. And either way, they do it as precaution.
What's in the river there for shellfish life?
I'm gonna assume little necks and cohogs, and I'm curious to see what they're gonna come back with, what they're saying they have designated that area for protection. It's actually right here. Here's the zone. So when we get into it, this is eelgrass, so what
Yeah.
we do is, you see the 2 property lines, what we're allowed to do is take the 2 property lines, project into the river, and that's the space that this parcel has a right to put a dock in. We then look at eelgrass, cordgrass, and then obviously try to avoid it. So we're actually launching off an area that's just a rocky shore.
So now you have to be, what you said, 5 feet above the eelgrass?
Correct. So through here, if you guys say someone wants to shellfish through here,
No?
we cannot block egress across the shore.
Okay. And this is the low tide mark here?
Correct.
Okay,
So
so it's
that's-
just mud flats?
That's elevation 0 at moon low,
Moon low,
meaning
yeah.
that you went out there, you'd see that's the water line. So,
Okay.
so this is 2.5, obviously, out here.
Yeah.
No, boat, we go out with the boats, we have the equipment for soundings, we have to record all the data to get the bottom, because we don't wanna make a mistake, not only just with you guys, but what about someone with a big boat and they're sitting on the bottom, they wouldn't be happy. So,
Okay.
Well, we can't close the hearing until NHS presents the letter, so.
Have to continue.
I'll make a
Maybe-
motion, we continue.
Maybe there's someone out here who has a question? Okay?
I'll make a motion that we continue.
can I,
Second it?
can I assume, Charlie, means approved contingent upon a favorable recommendation out of natural heritage? That would, I mean, next month.
Well,
Wait for that
once
to
they
come
send
in.
us a letter approving the project, then we can close the hearing. I
Okay.
don't have a problem with it.
Okay. So no need me to come back if I get obviously something that says negative. then
And we
we'll have
can't
to
issue
deal
an
with it.
order of conditions until we close the hearing.
Right, right.
So
Okay. All right.
you're gonna be in limbo for another month.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, appreciate it.
Now it's your turn, mister.
Randy Miranda, 957 Elm Street, Somerset.
Okay, we spoke earlier that you are in need of your Gazette receipt and abutters notices. So, so that you know that this will automatically be continued until those come to us.
All right, we can get
But
it,
go ahead.
can hear it tonight, then it'll be continued until,
That's the only choice we have.
you got it. Can you approve it tonight, or?
No,
What did he, I'm sorry, I don't hear.
he said, can we approve it tonight? I said, no.
No, not without the
Not until we close the
butter
hearing.
notifications and the
All right,
Gazette receipt.
okay. What we're doing is, we've got 2 lots here, one's an 8-acre lot, it's those new lots,
I know you-
Yeah, the new lots.
That's right, yes.
Not pork chop, they call it something.
Yeah, they got, retreat lots.
There's more than one plan in that. Could you take another one out so we can see?
Yeah,
it?
one thing, another plan out. They're retreat lots, and one's 8 acres, the other one's about 10 acres.
How big?
One's 8 acres.
8 acres?
Yeah, the other one's like 10 acres. Because this continues on up here, goes way up the back. There's a power, next to the power line up there.
Oh, I know, yeah, I know
Yeah.
where you are.
Well, you probably go hunting there.
Yeah,
Is this,
I've been abusing that
is
property.
this a what, is this wetlands or is it buffer zone?
That's buffer zone. We
Well,
did an order of conditions for this property, I don't know how many years ago. And they had wetlands in the front of the
Yeah,
house.
and, yeah, they put a drain going across the driveway.
Okay, so you're,
So I'm in the buffer zone, so what I wanna do is, there's an ancient way that goes up here, I've been using it since 1986, but it's an ancient way going up through here, so all I'm gonna do is put 2 driveways up here, and I'm not gonna pave them, they're gonna be gravel.
okay, and how far is the closest one from the wetlands?
Well, we're in the buffer zone.
No, I know, but how far?
Probably, this one here is probably about 10 feet, maybe. See, there's the flags here.
Okay. So you're actually, so you're,
Yeah, he's looking at this now.
So actually, his side
This is the wetlands.
contour is gonna come right down through the wetlands as proposed.
Did somebody flag this wetland?
Yeah, that was all flagged before you guys approved all that.
No, it looks right to
You
it.
know, who flagged that?
It would be much better if you moved it over here, 15 feet or something, and get it off the... What I'm looking at here is your side rail on the driveway is actually coming to the wetlands
All
itself.
right, so we can move this one over, because you got, I think there's gonna be like probably 20 feet.
Yeah.
So we can probably move it over another 10.
He got it now. He got it.
Well, here you got it fairly close, you probably...
Yeah, I can just run that right out.
So that would
Yeah.
be 10 or 20 feet further over.
Yeah, I can do that, that's no problem.
And that's the only problem
That's it, the rest of it's all.
upland?
Yep.
Okay.
Boy, I'll call it up. It's ledge.
Yeah. Well, no, it's rock.
Yeah.
We did pit tests up here. They already passed. And there was big rock, we just took them right out.
Really?
One pit test was 6 minutes, the other one was 11. So they were good pits.
Really?
Oh, yeah, this one's 6 minutes. There's
On top of
no
the hill?
ledge at all here, nothing. The second one, there is not ledge, rock, big rock.
Yeah.
So we'll just hop them.
Well, can you get that revised so it's moved over and send us a plan before the next hearing?
Yeah, yep. All right, so I'll get you a plan, just straighten
Yeah,
that right out.
and then show, your distance, because we know what's gonna happen. If you go that close, you're gonna be in the wetlands.
No, we'll pull it away.
Yeah, right.
You want
are.
a distance,
We want some distance.
I'll give you a distance. Whatever I can move it over, I'll give you, I'll put it on the plan, whatever it is.
Okay.
Because it's only this little piece in here anyway, so
Yeah,
we'll be.
no, I see it. It's
Yeah.
not major, but but
Okay.
you can do it.
All right, we'll do it. Okay?
Good.
Okay.
Any,
Motion to continue to
okay, wait a minute. Anybody?
Can I see that plan for a minute? I'm just like to look at it.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
You,
House lots of back here.
This is Oak Street?
No.
Oh, no.
Elm Street.
This is Oak Street. Tell me to sit down there.
Gonna beat me up, huh?
No, I wasn't gonna beat you up anyway, I just wanna look at it.
Okay.
What's that?
You're on.
Motion to
Okay.
continue to 11:14.
Second?
all in favor?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Don't forget your cards, Bernie.
What's that?
Yeah, or,
From the
Jim did, I said.
advertising.
I won't, but this time,
And the receipt.
I'll get it.
Okay, very
Charlie,
good, thank
you gonna call in the ad, or the ad? Oh, I'll just pay for it, I'll just pay for it.
And then you need, so
And
you're
I'll get
gonna
a
need,
receipt.
you're gonna need the receipt, you're gonna need the new map showing the
Yep.
movement of the driveway, and the green cards,
The what?
the notification.
Notification of abutters.
Okay. All right, yeah, the engineer must have those, because he sent them all out.
Okay,
We didn't get that.
so
I'll talk to him.
write it down.
Look through the file.
Gotta be something.
Everything that,
Because they mailed all that stuff out.
well, they may have mailed it out, but we don't have copies of it unless,
If they're not there, you can see it already, not there.
Nothing here, Bernie.
Nothing?
Nothing.
All right.
So you owe those three things
Yeah,
before we close.
write that down for me, Jim. Just repeat it.
What do you need?
Just write down what you want me to
Wait a minute, we're at your secretary.
Here we are, we're gonna help him out. Jim's got something right there.
the gentleman back there,
Receipts,
you're here for
map.
Oak Street?
The plan, the receipts.
Oak Street is continued. They asked for continuance. That was Duvalli.
And
Oh,
receipt
so we didn't know who it was.
and
What else?
That was the second one we had on our agenda. They called, they have us,
The receipts.
our consultant asked for
And
revisions
the
in the
tickets,
plans,
these tickets,
and
Green cards, yeah.
Green
those-
cards.
Those are the
the
notifications.
green card.
and receipt.
I'm sitting here watching government in
I know.
action.
No, Charlie,
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
good with that. Thank you very much.
Okay, we all set?
11:14.
Thank you.
11:14.
See you next month.
Okay.
11:14.
The 10th?
Sorry, 14.
by seat.
11:14.
Boy, see, right out. You guys have to pay attention. I thought I had trouble when
We didn't know who it was, that's why.
Oh, okay, all right.
Thank you, have a good night,
You're
guys.
welcome.
Take care, Glenn.
11:14.
A request to determine applicability from Helen Coelho. 12 Morris Hope Lane, Berkeley.
I think that's you. Coelho?
Doesn't ring a bell with me, but maybe.
This is the field septic system?
Yeah, it's Winfield Street. It's not, it's an RDA.
Yeah, not you.
Okay.
Request to determine.
Yeah, held it okay, I guess you're right. I don't know. I don't know what the name was. Yeah, this is a repair of a septic. (976) Winfield Lane. I'm Steve Nichols from SFG
Wait a
Engineering.
minute, okay.
You know where Winfield?
No.
You know where Winfield Lane is?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
You all do, but you don't know where it is. It goes behind the high school, off
Oh.
the regional road.
I know where it is.
That road that goes before you get up to the high school.
Yep, I know that road.
If you're coming from Horton Street,
Yeah.
and you come up to the stop sign there, and as the road bears right, there's a dirt road that goes up, that's Winfield.
Tom, do you have a sign on that road?
No.
On my road.
You don't even really know it's there.
Well, you buy it often.
So we're repairing a septic system, we're putting in a new tank. There's actually two houses on the property. They're knocking one house down and gonna upgrade the other house. So it's gonna be a 3-bedroom system. We're gonna put in a new septic tank, a pumping chamber, and a leach field. We're here in front of you because we're gonna be within 100 feet, but just barely. The closest point the leaching field will be 96 feet from the wetlands. And this, the associated grading that's...
When you say the closest part of the leach field is going to be 96 feet,
Correct.
are you talking about what you're going to do, what you're going to disturb, or what?
No, that's
the
what-
actual leach field?
Next I was getting, leach field's 96 feet.
So,
This grading around the system will get to within 84 feet of the wetlands.
okay.
So,
The siltation barrier is in blue, the wetlands are in green, and the septic area is in the orange.
okay.
That's your 96 feet right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I see
And
that.
again, it shows 84 feet right
That
there.
well?
No, that's a test pit.
What?
That's a test pit. Percolation test, yeah.
Test pit.
Yeah, well's over here. Yeah, we'll put in a system, we're basically tucking the system in here because we have to get 100 feet from the well. There's a 100-foot buffer right there,
Right.
so we're putting it right into that.
100 foot from the wetlands, 100 foot from the well.
So, there's a no-go on this
We
area?
perked all over this lot. We came over here, we dug holes. These two holes are roughly the same. We dug here, we dug here, we dug here, and this stuff was so bad we couldn't even get any type of perk rate. It was that bad.
Is it gonna be a raised system?
Yeah, it was raised up a little bit. The existing grade there is at about a 97 going through the system, so they're gonna raise it to about 99 around the system, so it'll be about 2 feet higher. Because we had a high water table. We had water at about
Yeah, that whole area is wet.
43 inches.
This is a marshy area.
Yeah,
This is pretty dry up there.
Yeah, it is.
There's no.
That's fine, no, up there is fine.
This whole area is dry, actually.
Yeah.
It's a repair,
no, I have no,
Yeah, so just so you know, this is regional road, I'll take you up to the high school
Yeah.
up there. And you just come off that little side street. Little dirt road.
no, as soon as I saw it here, and then I knew exactly where it was.
I'll make a motion, we issue determinative applicability for that repair.
A negative determination?
Negative, yes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're done.
Thank you, appreciate it. You guys want these or not?
Well,
Keep one?
this one, we need one.
Yep.
Where is it gonna put it in the folder?
Thanks for your time, have a good night.
You too.
Kenneth Nickerson.
Sir.
I'm gonna recuse myself on the bottom.
All right. But you can stay, Jim, just you, I'm not gonna let you look at anything.
How you doing, Charlie?
So, as you folks know, we're submitting the application for the ANRAD for the revised Lot 1 on Main Street, map 16, parcel 36. It's a 2.7 acre lot. There's, it's a Form A, it has been approved by the planning board. It has .25 acres of wetlands on the southeasternmost point of the property. The perks were performed on the westernmost point of the property in this area, well beyond the 100-foot buffer, probably closer to 200 feet. Everything is,
This is Roderick's here? Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
these are the receipts for the actual mailings. That's the Department of Environmental Protection.
We need,
Gazette?
Gazette,
I don't have that.
don't have that, no.
I do have that. I spoke with, yeah, Charlie, right?
Yeah.
I spoke with you. You had mentioned you would be submitting that to the Gazette.
We advertise.
Okay.
I sent a copy of our requirements to your consultant.
Okay.
He's not here tonight.
That's correct.
Yeah. So that's what we do all the time. We advertise,
Okay.
the applicant is required to pay for the ad.
And so I'll contact the consultant and get the bill and bring back the receipt.
That's correct.
Yep.
Okay, but while we're into the discussion here now, I received a telephone call from this abutter,
Which abutter?
Pacheco,
Okay.
and they claim to have title to part of this land. There's and they're here tonight.
Okay.
We had it surveyed.
I saw the stake, but your stake is noted as it is right here on your property, as it diagonally goes north. I saw the pink stake, and it's well beyond the point of the access that we have currently. It's about 30 or 40 feet beyond the access that we have here. Your stake is marked right there, and driveway is right here, and it comes up and it goes like this.
You had somebody else come out and tie things to trees that are,
Those are wetlands, but
they're, whatever. I
But
don't know
those-
what they are, but they're way over on our side by 25 feet or
Well,
so.
Okay, that would be here then.
We're talking about this line right here.
so
Where you had things tied, they're like right here.
yeah, no, the soil engineer came over and he put some trees to mark the property line so the excavator would stay beyond that, which they did.
When they went in for.
Well, we don't know what you're looking at as property line, so until we see
Well,
what you're
I saw
talking
your big,
about.
I saw your stake, and it's here. Your property goes back diagonally.
We know that.
Okay,
We're
so
aware of that. But I'm just saying, wherever you had things tied, they
those
were
are just, those
over
were just,
here.
yeah, but that's not
I don't know
property line.
that. We don't know that.
Okay, so.
We never saw
I
any
know where
surveyor
your
out there.
property line is, and it's not here, it's right there where it's noted.
No one's saying it's there. No one's saying it's there.
So what do you?
What we're
So those pink
disputing-
flags that were put there to keep the excavator away from your property is not a property, is not a border marker.
Well, I don't see where any of your border markers are, so you didn't put any up, so how do I know
You
what you're
did.
thinking is? Right, because we had to.
Okay, but it's,
Like,
so this is your property marker.
Is it marked at all?
It is.
by us, because we just paid for it, but looking at that, it doesn't mean zip to me.
That's what?
That means zip. If he doesn't have a marker from his own surveyors,
but
don't
if
know
he's
what he's
willing to
talking
accept
about.
your, if he's willing to accept your
Which I
marker.
am.
That's fine, if you accept ours.
Yes, I
But
am.
now, okay, now, he may have put a marker here somewhere showing the buffer zone, but I'm assuming that is nothing to do, the buffer zone or wetland flag has nothing to do with boundary marker.
What
No,
you're
but when
talking
we-
about, when they perked it, they put flags here so they wouldn't
Encroach on the,
Encroach on that
on
property.
the abutter.
Okay,
So
where,
we're honoring your property line. I don't have a problem with that.
where did you perk it?
Where-
Exactly.
Right here. Probably.
Right behind my mother.
Not right behind, more than the width of your neighboring butters. More than that, probably close to 200 feet. This is total, this is about 271 feet here,
When were these plans created?
just recently,
What's recently?
last month, September.
Okay.
got a date here somewhere.
Yeah, so September 21.
21st.
What date did we have the survey done?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so I saw the marker and I
My
honored it.
understanding, they've hired a surveyor,
Okay,
and they haven't received any, I don't think, has he marked anything yet?
Yeah, everything's marked.
He's marked it,
Everything's marked
he's marked it
with
right there on the
rods.
property
He
line.
marked that?
Yes, he
Marked
did.
with rods and ties.
Yep.
But I don't know what
Did
he
he
did.
do your
What I'm
whole
just
line?
saying is, if I'm standing in my mother's land, there's flags here, there's
There's
flags
not-
here, and I don't
there's-
know, and I'm like, what does that mean?
There's no flags on your property, first of all. Second of all, they're not border markers, they're not
But
property
I
markers.
don't, I didn't know that. You have to understand, I did not know what they
You
were.
could have asked, I didn't open
Ask
it.
who? The realtor doesn't.
Well, you
know.
Well, it kind of works, okay,
But,
I've
so
never
kind of
seen
works
over
both
there.
They're going
ways.
to
They could have asked, and you could have told
their
them.
property, yeah.
Right,
Well,
I don't
I
live
know,
there.
I know
live in
Mr.
Swansea.
Bachet, I know Steve, he used to be my neighbor and Rich.
Right, and he
Right.
should have been here tonight, but he's
That's
got
okay,
having a baby.
we're not, well, congratulations to him, but we're willing to accept their marker. It's
Okay.
fine. We're-
So what you're
we're
saying is
still
a lot of
beyond-
this is all wet,
Yes,
Yeah.
this is
You
the
know
flag
that,
that we're
soaking
concerned
wet.
with right here.
like standing.
Yep.
These are the flags that I was talking about.
Can I?
I didn't know that he put markers there to get his equipment in to do a
Just
pick
not,
test.
they weren't markers, they were just pink things to keep the
keep the
excavator
excavator
well
away
away
from
from
their
their
property.
property,
Is it on
absolutely.
invoice?
Okay, so
Should be
those
on
flags
the-
are to protect you, is what he's saying, to protect you from the equipment that went in. He is here tonight because we, the Conservation Commission, have jurisdiction over activity 100 feet away from this blue line. So
In either
he
direction.
is,
There's
Well,
nothing, the
This
property line is right
this is
here.
wetlands, so,
Direction we're
yeah.
concerned with.
So we are, so he, if, we are going to hear from him what he wants to do here and here.
Later.
And, yeah, and,
All he's here for tonight is to determine that this wetland flag line is correct. If he decides to build a driveway, that's another hearing at another date.
What's this line right here?
That's 100 foot
That's
from
the
the wetland.
100-foot buffer from here.
All right.
that's nothing to do with your property line.
Okay.
That's only 100 feet from here. So if you notice, this line moves with this line.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so it's just, so it shows us, it's telling us, we have jurisdiction here. And without undoubtedly in here in the wetlands. But he's not concerned with that. He's concerned with this right here, and he wants us to verify this line, because once we verify this line, that will determine how he can go in here.
Will somebody come out to look at the markers that we have for our property?
We always do.
Or for your
Okay, 'cause I'm
property,
saying-
maybe
No,
not.
no.
No,
Right.
because-
No, we're interested,
He's-
this is what we're interested in, right
And there's a-
here.
and there's
But
a
he doesn't
marker in the
have-
road at that point.
Now,
Absolutely.
how far over does the driveway have to go?
We
Is there
haven't-
no law to that?
That's another day. That's
Okay.
another hearing for
Okay.
another time.
Well, I'm just.
He's gonna have
Another plan.
to, yeah, because it's in a buffer zone, he'll have to file for the driveway.
Mhm.
and wherever he positions the house, if it's outside of our jurisdiction, outside of this buffer zone,
Which it will be.
So as
then
long
that
as,
would be the end of
if
that.
this plan was made after we had our stakes put in, if this plan was done after we had our stakes put in, like
This
he
plan
says, he
was
went,
done
he said he
by,
did it after our stakes were in.
Well, he had it
After-
done
after-
by a professional land surveyor. The guy's from Taunton, John Delano, and,
But he said he's gonna honor the.
Yeah, I'm honoring your property line.
Yeah.
I expect to honor your property line, and we've been honoring your property line throughout the process.
Well, I don't know, there was some guys that came one day that wandered
Okay.
around in my mother's
So-
yard. They were
Yeah,
very
sorry.
concerned, they're
We
she's
need a
91.
receipt from him, right?
And she's
Okay.
like, who's in my
We're
yard?
gonna continue,
So I
we
called the
gotta
realtor
monitor
and she
the.
said it wasn't you and
uh,
it's
That's right.
random people
I
walking
try to
around.
respect other people's property.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll give you a copy of this plan.
You can
Well,
file
we're
calls,
not professional land surveyors. We're not going out and determine where and when. That's something that you two will have to do.
Right, because we had ours done.
But
Right.
if,
And he's had his done too. This is done by a professional land surveyor. All of these boundaries are determined by
But
someone.
I don't know why I don't see his, that's what I don't understand, why I don't see his up here. There's nothing up here.
Well, you have
There's
yours
nothing here?
there now, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you
I do
marked it.
now, but you didn't before, that's what I'm saying, where was yours? It was never there.
Well, it was, there were markers there, and I knew I wasn't close enough to your property to even have this conversation in the first place. And as you notice, I'm still, where we have some clearing is about 40 feet from your marker. So we're not encroaching on your property line at all, not even close.
I'm not,
I'm sorry, but we're not even close to your marker.
I know,
Go
I'm
back.
talking about the things that were tied there. I never saw any
So those-
property
I
divisions that
understand,
you
and
put there.
I'm trying to explain
And I
it.
have
Those
to
were-
defend my mother's property.
Okay.
She's been there 60 years.
I can appreciate that,
Okay.
and those flags were really just to keep the
And I
heavy
have
okay,
equipment.
no
so I
way of
think
knowing
what,
that.
I think what
I'll
you're gonna
do
go
that.
back and tell your mother.
I'll do that, if they'll
Yes.
allow me, if they, if it's okay, I'll take those flags down this weekend.
Okay,
That'd
what
be
I
good.
think
Okay.
you're gonna go back and tell your mother is that he is gonna respect your boundary lines.
Yep.
Those flags are just incidental flags to keep the workers away from the wetlands and away from your property. So even if they're there, they have to stay off your property. That's what those flags are for. So even though they may look intimidating, they're not.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so now you have,
A boundary dispute, that's a personal thing.
I'm not
That's
disputing any
something the
boundary.
Conservation
No, no, okay.
Commission can get involved with.
Right.
But
We
from
don't-
our
we
conversation
asked the
with your
attorney
mother, I
about it.
thought
We
you
said
were
that.
talking about these flags. If you owned up to these flags, then there was a serious problem.
I didn't touch those, those
No.
have been certified
no,
by.
no,
we
no,
talked about
I
flags.
It's just that
I
the
think
deed
you're,
was changed
I think
twice
you're
back
both
in-
good,
before
it's
you owned it.
just that
In 59,
there's
it was
some
one deed,
lack
and
of
then back in
communication.
93, one of the neighbors up here sold the property, and they made us all go back to the attorneys, and they ended up moving everything down. So we didn't know if you ever saw that, because you're now after the fact, you're the next owner.
All I can
Somebody
tell
else
you
owned it before you.
is the consultant did the due diligence and, just
Well, yeah,
presenting
he should
the,
have gone through whatever the deeds were in 93 and not in 58.
I'm sure they went through the latest records.
Okay, I think we're settled on,
Yeah.
on that, okay, so,
Almost.
You're not gonna be happy until you prove that that's the actual boundary line.
And that's, and we're
This guy's
respecting
a
that.
pretty
Yeah.
respected land surveyor, so I can't see him making a big mistake.
We just
but
never
anything's
saw them.
possible.
We just never saw them, so we didn't know what the flags
Yeah.
were, why they were there.
Well,
We
those
just-
flags have nothing to do with the Conservation Commission. These do.
Right. Those are other flags you put out there?
Those are the wetland flags that are out
Consultant.
there.
But you put them there?
No,
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 I was-
he put them up.
Oh, okay. I
his
don't know
engineer,
what was on.
his
His
botany,
botanist
They
put
must
them
be
up.
in the middle of the woods,
They are,
in the middle of the swamp.
They're here,
This all swamp.
and
They
I'm
were
sure there's
hopefully
trees
they're at
covering,
the edge of the swamp, because that's where they have to be.
and they are. And it's certified by the consultant as well.
Well, certified after we approve it.
Understood.
We're gonna have to get somebody to check the line
Fine.
and approve the line.
Understood.
I mean, that's standard procedure. None of us are
understand.
wetland consultants.
Yep,
We hire one,
so there is a marker, not stamped, but inserted. There's a little-
they'll find the flag.
Yeah, there's a thing there, the flags are there.
And the distance between here and here is 100 feet? Is that what that is?
Yes,
Okay.
so that's
This is
why
the-
that's why that
this is the
flag is there on
boundary
your
of that
property.
lot.
Well, it was,
Yes, it
somebody
is.
took it down. It was
Okay.
there, but now that one's
Yeah.
missing. I don't know when
Because,
it went away.
because so
Someone took it
even
down.
if you try to do something here, it would be our jurisdiction.
Hold on.
Oh,
No,
that-
we want
that
the
little
trees to
corner here,
stay.
Is that what you're saying, that
Yeah.
little corner?
We want all
Yeah.
the trees to stay.
You don't have
We have
to
no
worry about
intention
it.
of cutting trees, because then we get more water.
Okay. Now,
Okay, let's get back, okay, we're all
Okay,
set,
back to
ladies?
business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else interested in this?
I just have a question.
Sure.
So you said that a road would be another meeting, another hearing, would,
A driveway, not a road,
yeah, sorry,
driveway.
driveway, would abutters be receiving a notification again?
Yes.
yes,
So this here is for a wetland delineation. It's only to say, are our
all.
flags correct?
Okay,
And then here they determine what happens, how they're going to access the back property.
okay, thank you.
Can I ask your name?
Sure, Cynthia Shannon, we're across the street.
Okay. So you may see my surveyors around
Yeah,
as
we
well?
have.
Yeah, you will,
Yeah.
again.
I know this isn't really the question for it, but like, the frontage, you know, you have 175 feet, isn't it required for 250 on that street?
It's not, it's 175.
Isn't it? But-
It's been approved by the planning board.
Okay, I was just curious, because the bylaws that says if it doesn't have sewer or water, it's required to be 250.
There's water on Main Street.
But there's no sewer.
So it's one.
There's no,
It's
that's
sewer
right.
or, it's not sewer and,
That's right,
Right.
sewer.
but it's,
In any case, the lot's
okay.
been approved by the planning board.
Okay, that's all I was just asking.
Okay, go ahead, Charlie,
uh,
53.
oh, yeah, well, we have to set up a 53G account, so we can pay this.
Okay.
And we need seed money. I think a grand ought to cover relevant flags. I'm not sure how long it would take her, but we need 1,000
Okay,
made out to the town of Dayton,
that's fine.
and whatever's left over from that, you get it back.
Fair enough.
That's,
Okay, and
actually, we've gone quite far with this. This is almost a public hearing.
Oh, answer questions from back here. Were we supposed to be notified of the planning board meeting, or no?
Pardon?
I don't know
Abutters?
what theirs is. I
Oh.
have no idea. You have to go and ask them,
What's that? What was the question?
should they have been notified of the planning board meeting?
Oh, I don't know how the planning board operates.
Okay.
We notify people within 300 feet of the project.
So it's an
The law
existing lot.
requires- Wetland Act requires 100 feet. Our bylaw requires 300 feet. So everybody that's interested can get a shot at it. And they do notify, the notifications are right here.
No, for this, yes, for this
Yeah, for
meeting,
this.
yes, for sure.
I don't know how the planning board operates. You'd have to check with them. You
Okay.
gone before the planning board?
I have, yes,
You have already.
yes I have.
So apparently you didn't get notified. They advertise in the paper, you have to look at the classified ads.
They also post a notice in the foyer at the beginning of the building here. But
The Wetland Act requires notification of people within 100 feet of a project. I don't know what the planning board regulations are, but it's pretty clear. They just advertised it, and if you didn't see the advertisement, and they post it on the board. You have to come up town hall and look at the board up there. It's in the lobby, open 24 hours a day.
They don't do it, the little cards.
Well, we did it too. We have to
But
put
you do,
paste.
but they don't do that. You said you don't know.
No, I don't think so.
It wasn't a requirement, and Steve could have, we've been out there for months. Somebody could have come by and said, hey, what are you guys doing? I would have been glad to open up and explain everything to your brother, I assume, or your...
The town treasurer.
Okay. That check goes to the town treasurer.
Okay,
Certainly you'll have your name in the check.
Yes.
And tell them it's for a 53G account.
okay. I can do that.
And
You want us to write it down for you? We've been.
I know you're not a secretary, but I don't have a pen, but
I'll write it down, I'll be the secretary.
Okay, let's keep moving along here.
well, we haven't finished this yet. Is it done?
1,000.
Mr. Ferry, we'd like to hear from you.
Did we vote to continue this?
I move that we continue the hearing for Kenneth and Pamela Nicholson to November 14th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We're all set?
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks, Charlie.
Wow, look at this.
I thought I had everyone here at the beginning. Crap. Had to notify 73 people.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
That blew your whole budget.
That's $6 and change each, I think it is.
That's good.
Okay.
You do good work, Thomas.
Yes, we already have this, but make sure everyone has a copy of the whole.
Sure. Okay.
There's a few extras.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Central Street.
So, I see Mr. Menges say, I don't know where you guys are from.
We're from the orchard across the street.
Okay, that's part of the 73 people I had to notify.
Yes.
Yeah, as soon as you said 73, I said, well, I know where 30 of them went. Well, 37.
So, the project is, we had to, because the address is 1250 Somerset Ave, that's how Mr. Menges was notified, everyone on 138, but the project is actually near the power lines on Center Street where it meets Pam Wallace House there, 337 Center Street. And the project is actually behind the guardrail. I want to extend the drainage pipe, the 12-inch reinforced concrete pipe that's existing, coming from down the hill, extended to where it meets the cross pipe, coming from near the orchards. And it flows south at that point. I want to add a structure there and then fill in that ditch to eliminate the need of that guardrail. That guardrail is right close to the road, and then backfill the ditch so it's safer. Even now that the present retaining wall for that reinforced concrete pipe is collapsing a little bit, and people enjoy dumping stuff in that ditch too. That compromises the drainage issues. So that's why we're here tonight. The only wetlands I could see using IGIS and known wetlands is across the street. It's about 94 feet, and it crosses where the orchards, where it meets, Stonegate Landing meets on Center Street. They should have been in a previous project through this board here. That's where that wetlands is closest, about 94 feet across the street. And that's why I needed an RDA tonight. I mean, I'm looking at it as a drainage upgrade, but I didn't want people driving by asking a lot of questions as I'm doing it.
You figure that, you figure Center Street makes a pretty good buffer between the wetlands and your project?
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
Now, do you have to increase the size of the culvert?
No.
It'll be the same 16-inch pipe, 12-inch, continued.
12-inch continued into a structure where it meets that cross pipe coming from the other side of Center Street.
Okay, why I had asked is I was at a meeting and they were talking about all culverts and drainage areas were to be increased in size due to global warming and the anticipation of heavier rainfall.
Correct. Yeah, you're talking about the 15%. I don't believe this applies at this point.
Okay.
The culvert that crosses Center Street would be what you're referring to.
Okay.
And we're not going to supersede the need to increase that volume at this point.
Okay.
I have a question.
Go for it.
I really don't know a lot about
Do you
this,
want
but-
boundary, you want to know what any boundary markers here? Or?
Not out in those woods. Anyhow, is it going to increase the amount of water that's going to come towards us?
No, it's gonna
Okay,
take your water.
It's going to take our water out? Yes?
It already does.
Okay, so, but when you're going to meet two together, is that what you're
Yes.
doing?
Yes. Only for access, so we have gain access so when I can fill it in.
So now you do anything to us in the back, don't you?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm good.
Well, look how much you learned tonight.
I learned a lot tonight here. I did, thank you.
I'm actually close enough to this to have been notified because I live on Somerset Avenue.
The address owned by the town is 1250 Somerset Ave. This property meets,
Okay.
this is where the property meets Center Street.
That's our
why you
fault,
get
Pat.
notified.
If we acted under the Wetland Act regulations, you'd be sitting home tonight watching TV.
There's nothing going on Wednesday.
To have a local bylaw, it has to be more stringent than the Wetland Act regulations.
But I'm
So,
happy to be here. It's nice
300
to,
feet.
it's nice to see all these proceedings.
Well, it's nice to see you,
Very
Pat.
good.
but
Thank you.
you haven't been in town hall in a while, now you've made an official trip
That's
for a good
right.
reason.
That's
Watch
true.
government in action.
Very true.
Okay, I move that we issue a negative determination.
I'll second that.
All in favor? You're good to go, Tom Ferry, and thank you for the excellent presentation.
Was it, did you have the Council of Two?
But
Are we gonna discuss the Council of Two?
Sure.
Yes,
Is that next, or you?
yes, do it, start it now.
All right, so you guys acquired that piece of property up near the Council Oak.
Yes,
I did mow it this fall, and the seeds were just right timing. Those, now, on my own, I was advised to do it by some local farmers, and the seed's taken in well, and it's got a nice, good winter crop right now, better than last winter, from its own.
Rye?
And it's the winter rye type, yes. They had a year to rest. Our town administrator is willing to do our what's it, RFP to get some type of lease in place to get someone to utilize that field in the future. She just needs, we're not the stewards of it, you guys are the stewards, so if you guys would like her to do that, we can proceed with that. And if you have any orders, conditions, or whatever.
that was the
was
reason that we
good.
took the land, was that, so it could be used by someone.
Right. She's willing to do the work, she can't do it without your
No, we
knowledge.
would like you to do the work, and we thank you very much.
So are there any other restrictions that we should know about in doing this? I
No,
imagine
but
she's
if
gonna
some-
favor like a
If
5-year
somebody wants
lease.
to use it to plant it, I'm sure he, to put some sort of a crop in there,
Right.
he'd have to maintain and do it properly, I'm sure. So, do you have anybody in mind?
No, no one in particular, no.
Okay.
Now, we do have a few other towns that have a lease program in place that we can look at to come up with something. We just need
good.
to know what you guys' intentions were, and if you want to see, the winter is a good time to get that in place.
Yeah.
So someone knows who's going and they can plant their crops.
Very good.
Can any
Four-wheelers.
farmer,
Are the guys in the four-wheelers ripping and tearing up there?
Believe it or not, they don't go on that field that much, they go around it a lot.
Yeah. Because they were going right across when I was seeing that before, they were.
Right, I do plan on blocking those two paths on the north side, the northwest and the north. We mowed the field, we used the boom mower up there, pushed the road back so people can actually drive on that ancient way and not on the field. It should be over.
Yeah.
So it's worth a visit, actually, right now. It's a beautiful
Good.
time to visit it. And I'll, if you guys are in favor, I'll let the town administrator move forward with an RFP for you guys.
does she want a formal letter saying that we approve
That'd probably be appropriate, or at least a copy of the minutes.
okay, I move that, let's see, what is this motion gonna be?
think about it?
Just request the town,
We
or
notify
the town, say the town instead of Tom Ferry. Would that be proper?
Instruct the town administrator to proceed with acquiring
Leasing,
it.
okay.
If you want a 3 or a 5 year or the appropriate lease,
Yeah. Well, find out
Okay.
what the appropriate lease is, Tom. We don't know what it is.
1 year would stink.
Yeah, no, it's gotta be
No,
at
you can't,
least,
you can't.
5 years would probably be best. So we request the town administrator go about leasing the conservation land for agricultural purposes.
That'd be best suited for hay, and somebody's gonna want probably at least a 5-year lease. What it would cost to put that into a decent hay
Yep.
today.
And even
5 or
vegetable
more.
farmers, you wouldn't want someone else doing a winter crop, not knowing what they're doing,
Yeah.
so.
I'll second that.
Like cow corn for the last 10 years or
It's
something?
been corn.
Okay, all in
for- give me
favor?
it.
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, it's been corn for a lot
That
of years.
was
Thank you.
backwards.
Wow,
Okay.
I thought we'd be here until.
Tom, are you guys
midnight.
accessing that through Sanson's? Or coming up the hill?
Up the hill.
Up the hill. That's what it
Patrick,
was.
I am surprised that you were not there
Take care, Tom.
Monday of last week, when this commission got
How
an
you doing?
award for its diligence in preserving land along the river and elsewhere.
I
He was supposed to be
congratulate
there.
you.
He had a golf tournament. That was important for him and his
I'm just
son.
curious.
No, Carl, I congratulate you on your
Milk
achievement.
Street. Off of Main Street,
Okay,
Milk
good.
Street.
Okay, Bill, we got another one
Good
here.
night.
Milk Street.
Nice to see you.
We skipped right by ratifying
Up
the
towards the corner of Milk and Brook.
enforcement
Okay.
order.
Okay,
Up towards Brook.
I move that we ratify
Thank you.
the
Have a good
enforcement
night.
order
Thank you.
against Matthew Warhurst on the new owner of Center Street Woods.
Subdivision violation caused by previous owner.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. You have it, right? We have it,
I made the
Charlie?
motion.
Second.
Just sign it and pass it down.
They paid $540,000 for the remaining lots, and they didn't do any damage here. It was Matt Antonio. He cleared Lot 1 and Lot 2. Lot 2 hadn't been before the commission. So it was cleared and site work done on it. And I agreed with an enforcement order. He promises to file after the fact. So,
Okay.
since we did approve a notice of intent, I need some signatures. The happy group, Patrick. Not very formal, but happy.
It's probably the longest serving membership of any commission in the town government now.
That's true.
In the state, I would say of Massachusetts.
And I will tell you, your collegiality has been an asset to the town and an example for other boards.
We think so.
Absolutely.
At the Save the Bay Awards and their activities that they had, I brought that up, that we had no less than 150 years of collective service to the town as conservation commissioners. And I think they were all aghast that they made some comment about us old folks.
Our chairman was one of the original board,
Yes, absolutely.
followed by Jack Crawford's daughter. He's not here tonight, but his
No,
mother was part of the original commission.
Yes.
I joined the commission for various reasons, and Jim followed me, and Jim is a current.
He's a newbie, only about 10 years, right?
Yeah.
How about Tony Roderick's on Main Street?
Tony Roberts on Main Street, the enforcement order still stands. He actually applied for a pick test on that property. And when I did the site visit, I told the Board of Health exactly what the problems were, and they've sent him a letter saying that it's not pickable. So that's the way it stands right now.
Okay. And that's the lot closest to William Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
When he
Behind the
applied
garage.
for the pick test, he said there was a building on the site, a home on the site, and it was technically a repair. Well, it's an old garage, no one's ever lived in it.
Right.
There's no septic system existing, so, and the wetland go within 15 feet of the building. They call it conical shape.
It probably goes under the building, but.
No, it doesn't, according to the plan that he submitted for the other lots. It was his plan. I mean, it's not something we just made out of old cloth here.
All right, no, I just wanted an update on that, Charlie.
No, and when I made the site visit, at the last hearing, you weren't here, but
Right.
he had already taken a little pile that he had on the south side of the building and pushed that into the wetland too. I mean,
Okay.
so, he's determined to do something, but he did a nice job on the old shop. The old garage, I mean, he fixed it all up, had a carpenter in there for weeks, months maybe. But nobody's gonna live in the building, and the wetlands are there, they're not going away.
All right, I've got to, I'm hoping I can catch the people upstairs before they leave.
Okay, and Dennis, you want the enforcement order remains in place?
Yes. And now we have a new one to add to it. We did lift the enforcement order on Brook Street. They do plan to do a pick test on that property.
Okay.
That was our last meeting.
Right,
Yes.
I knew that, yeah.
Okay, I move that we close the meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Menzies?
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
God bless you. Nice to see you.
Okay,
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
I see you going up the road with your dog,
Oh,
and
yes.
I'm afraid to toot because I don't want to scare